Hey, it's Dizzy, and if you watched any of my videos, you know that I run a field for my horses, and I am in the process of moving the outhouse that I had out here from that area right over there where you can see those pieces of 2x4 to an area underneath of that walnut tree, because more often than not when I needed to use the outhouse, I'm in the field and I can just barely make it at times to where it is. And I wanted to get it all cleaned up and painted and whatnot. So took a day to get it all apart, and once it was all apart, the next day all I did was scrub it up. Didn't bother to shoot a video about that because, that's not really exciting. Who cares about cleaning? Today I started painting it. I decided I was going to paint the inside white, and the outside I was going to paint forest green. I was going to paint it white so that if I was using it at night, it was reflective in there, and hopefully I'd be able to see it because I do camp out here. So I got a can of paint that said it was good for plastic, or spray paint, and I got one door done. Didn't really like the way it covered, and saw that it wasn't going to be enough, so I figured, well, maybe I can at least get done all the areas where it screws together, and that is as far as I got. It is not worth it to spray paint it. I do, however, have the paint from when I painted the chicken house. I am going to go ahead. I cannot guarantee how well that's going to work, but I'm going to use that to paint the inside. The outside, well, if you watched my one videos, you know that besides having the chicken pen out here, I have one at home, and it is painted a slate blue to match my house with brown trim. So I am going to paint the outside brown. The roof that I have for it is also brown. I'm hoping that piece of roofing is enough. If not, I have more things that I can use to cobble it together. So that is where I am with the painting. I've decided that I'm going to put it on a 45-inch square base made out of 4x4s. And I decided I was going to get fancy. I was going to cut the 4x4s at an angle so I could screw them together. Well, the only problem is the only thing that I have out here to do that with is a circular saw. First off, it's hard to cut through the 4x4s with that. The second thing, it's hard to get it to match up. So it did not match up here the way I wanted it to. I know my late husband had a different saw at home that I'm hoping that maybe if I take these home, I can use that saw. I think it's a miter saw. And take these home, and these are cut a little bit big so that in case I mess up too much, I've got extra to work with. And if I mess these up, well, I've got plenty of 4x4s out here. So that was as far as I got with that for today. Now, because I camp out here, or even when I don't camp out here, I like to have a fire out here. I haven't put my fire ring away yet because the last time I had a fire out here, I burned some boards with nails in it, and I haven't had a chance to get the nails out. But I had this was over here to keep the horses away from all of this sort of stuff. And this is the area that I'm planning on putting the outhouse. That piece of baling twine is about where it'll go to. So that meant that I had to move all of this. Now the problem with doing anything here, if you've watched any of my videos, you know that this area, they used to dig gravel out to use on the farm. And then they filled it in with all kinds of junk. And it can be hard to dig down without hitting anything. And basically, that's what I have to worry about when I'm working in this area. This is a different 4x4 than the one that I had in there. That's the one that I had in. By moving it this way, I was able to get it in the ground a little bit deeper. This side, however, is only about as deep as it was. I only have the piece of cattle panel tied to it for now. It has been extremely dry out here. I'm going to be coming out here and dumping some water around them so that hopefully I can tamp the ground down around them better and make them a bit more stable. I'm hoping that the horses don't come along and really mess with this one. But that's where I am. So it's getting hot out here. It's getting late. I think I'm going to go home and get into my nice air-conditioned house, and hopefully I can get some more done. Last time I camped out here, I didn't have it. The outhouse, and I could have really used it because it was Tuesday night. I watched the Perseid meteor showers, and at least it was dark out here, and I was by myself because I just had the portable toilet in my feed stall there, and I didn't make it that far. Like I said, there was nobody out here, so it didn't matter. So that's where I am, and I'll talk at you later.